With me now, New Jersey Republican State Senator Michael Testa Jr. and Amy DeCibio, an ACT for Wales board member. ACT is the airport code in Nantucket, so it's ACK. Great to have both of you here. So Molly laid out what's going on with the whales, but what I want to ask you about is what's going on with Greenpeace, what's going on with all these environmental groups. Michael, these are the ads that I think we grew up with. Watch this from 1983.
The dedicated men and women of Greenpeace have on several occasions interposed their own bodies between huge foreign killer ships with their explosive harpoons and the defenseless, gentle giants we call whales.
I remember that. I grew up with that. So what's going on now, Michael?
I think we're seeing the utter hypocrisy of groups like the Sierra Club and Greenpeace, because we do know that if one whale to die due to offshore drilling, we know that they'd be on the beach holding hands, surrounding that whale carcass, singing Kumbaya. But they're not there right now. And I think, honestly, we have to look into what Amy has been pointing out for the last couple of years is how much money Big Wind is donating to organizations such as the Audubon Society, to Greenpeace, to the Sierra Club.
A lot of money?
It certainly looks like a lot of money, because I don't think that they seem to be really culturally relevant anymore. Because when I grew up and I seeing that video from 1983, I was about 7 or 8 years old then. You had a bumper sticker that said "Save the whales." We don't see that anymore. And where is their mission anymore? Where are they right now? They're completely silent, and their silence is deafening. Or worse, they're actually saying the exact same thing that Big Wind is saying, that because of the climate crisis, we have to rush to judgment and erect these wind farms.
I know, Amy, you've said that the government groups who are supposed to do the studies have not done really comprehensive studies on the impact of all this. And you call it the industrialization of our ocean, which I think is really, and there's a lot of big money going into this. Explain to people, where's the money coming from and where's it going?
Yeah, so, well, first of all, Martha, thanks for having me on.
Thank you.
It's great that you put up all of those NGOs' names on the screen. I think that that's super important. And there are many smaller ones involved also. It's not just the national ones. There are many smaller organizations involved as well that have taken money. So when the wind companies are donating big dollars to different organizations, their voices become compromised, and it's really a problem. Their silence is a problem for people like, Senator here. It's when they can't hear the voices of these organizations pushing back, the conversation is over.
So politicians have basically sold off pieces of the ocean. Put that map up again, guys, that shows where these things are all going to go. Who are the companies that are now owning our Atlantic Ocean right off our core?
Well, they all have beautiful names like, Vineyard Wind and Bay State Wind and South Coast Wind, but they're all really just LLCs. These are owned by big, mostly foreign energy companies. It's Iberdrola, it's Ørsted, and a lot of these. They're
Scandinavian, European companies mostly?
Yeah, European. Iberdrola is Spanish. Ørsted is Danish, and they are many of these companies have big state ownership involved as well. So, for example, Iberdrola's largest shareholder is the government of Qatar. So that's who owns Vineyard Wind, for example, off the island of Nantucket.
So they're drilling deep into the ocean, Senator, and the idea is that this is, sort of shaking things up, and it's making the whales maybe disoriented. So what does Governor Murphy say? Is you just want a 30 to 60-day pause. Are you going to get that? Is that doable?
I'm certainly hopeful that it's doable, because I think more people are waking up to the hypocrisy of the Murphy administration, the hypocrisy of groups like Greenpeace and the Sierra Club. And we're getting ready to start the summer season, which is integral to my legislative district, and as well as all of the other coastal legislative districts. People do not want to have whales and dolphins washing up on our shores in pursuit of Big Wind, which I still think we have to really take a long, hard look at the return on investment for Big Wind.
Yeah. This is a huge story. How much does green power really cost, and what are the sacrifices that are made for it? We're going to keep digging on this. Amy DeCibio, Senator Testa, thank you. Testa, thank you very much. Great to have both of you with us today. We're going to keep on this story.